Good evening. This is Damanpreet Singh and Manpreet Kaur on behalf of Brentwood Votes. This evening, we're here to conduct a campaign interview with Stephanie Williams-Rogers, a candidate for one of two Board of Trustees seats in the Brentwood Union School District. Welcome, Ms. Williams-Rogers. How are you doing today? And is there anything you'd like to start off with saying to our followers and audience?
Yeah, I'm doing amazing. I'm happy to be able to connect with the both of you and share more about myself and why I'm running. So kudos to you and Brentwood Votes for pulling this together and asking for candidates to speak with you. So I appreciate this opportunity.
In 3 to 4 sentences, could you please share with us why you chose to run for this office?
Okay. Well, first, I'm a parent. My husband and I, we have 4 kids. So we have an 8th grader, 9th grader, 10th grader, and a soon-to-be 4-year-old. So I'm very involved in their lives, their education, and supporting them to become flourishing young adults that are able to critically think, advocate for themselves, and contribute to society in meaningful ways, which is one of the reasons why I'm running. I believe it's important that our school board has diverse leaders that can offer different perspectives to meet the challenges of today and to prepare our students for the future.
That's great. With that said, what do you see as the biggest opportunities? And then equally, what are the biggest challenges facing students in the Brentwood Unified School District?
Okay. One of the biggest challenges that's easy to call out right now is distant learning. It's been a challenge for our students, our teachers, and families overall. And I think that for some students and families, they've adjusted, right? And they're managing the distant learning aspect. There are also some families and students who are still challenging. And so we have an opportunity there to check in and continuously check in with these students and families to give them the support that's needed and to really understand what are some themes we may be seeing across the board that we can, collectively align to resolve. And so I think that is one of the major challenges facing our school district and our students today. Another challenge, and it poses an opportunity, is around mental health. And so mental health, we've seen an increase in support and a need in that area prior to COVID. And I can only imagine with what we're seeing right now with COVID and our current state of affairs as a country and our election, that there may be additional support needed. And so I think there's an opportunity as it relates to our reopening plans. And when we are looking to transition our students and our teachers into the classroom, is do we have the mental health support available and ready for our students and teachers as they are transitioning back to the classroom? So I believe those are our challenges and some opportunities that we can help to support them.
That's great. So Damanpreet and I are both products of the LUHSD, and I personally went through the BUSD also. Many students, including ourselves, witness and experience on the daily a clear lack of mental health resources, like you were saying. Mm-hmm. So, and I'm sure you're aware from recent public outcry, a lack of uplifting support staff such as counselors and administrators is needed. So how would you go about challenging this narrative, promoting and implementing effective mental health awareness and aid programs to show students and their parents that their district truly cares about the students and will support them in all endeavors and beyond?
Okay, that's a loaded question. I think for me, if and when elected as one of the new school board members, it'll be really important to work and partner with our district to understand what was happening prior to COVID and in a current pulse as it relates to mental health support and needs that may exist today. It may not in terms of a current pulse, but I think that is a priority that we would have to solve for, to understand what is happening and to understand how we can continue to support our students and our teachers with mental health needs. I think it'll be very important to, as a leader and as a representative in our community, to be available to our students, our teachers, and families and communities across the board whether that's through social media, whether that's through virtual meet and greets or coffee chats, or in-person opportunities if and when they present themselves, when it's safe to do so. To be able to get the stories and capture the experiences of people that will help to provide that lens necessary to make those informed decisions as a school board member. And so I feel like it starts with others and those key stakeholders to help solve these problems and these challenges together.
For sure. And then moving on from that, but similar to the idea of mental health, with all the current national conversation around centering racial and restorative justice, how will you go about meeting students' demands to uplift, amplify, and support students of all backgrounds and experiences? How will you specifically show up as an ally and foster systemic belonging to Black students, Indigenous students, students of colors, LGBTQIA+ students, students with disabilities, low income and or first generation students, and essentially all other underserved and marginalized students? So importantly, how will you ensure these actions don't fall into any performatism and fail to yield valuable results?
Okay. Well, first I'll just say that I denounce any racism and discrimination of all kinds. There is no room for it in our schools, in our classrooms, and we as a community, we can do better. I did attend the Uplift and Amplify student and teacher panel a few months ago at City Park, and I found it very informative. And at the same time, heartbreaking to hear the experiences of some of these students. And so as a leader, I'll make it a priority, or as a school board member, I'll make it a priority that we are engaging our students to be able to understand what are the experiences happening in the classroom, happening in the lunch or in the cafeteria or on the during recess or whatnot, but really understanding what are their experiences, one. Two, I look at racism and the things that we've seen and the stories that have been shared. I look at it as the same thing as bullying, and there's no tolerance for that, and there's definitely not a tolerance for racism in our school. And as a school district and as a school board member, it's very important that we create and shape the environment that a safe learning environment that allows for our students to be free of any bullying, any racism that can, one, impede their learning, two, impact or lower their self-esteem, and three, one, we want to have an environment that celebrates and welcomes differences of all kind.
So moving on from that topic, school boards tend to carry a checkered history in terms of valuing community and, more importantly, student voices. There have been many instances on the part of boards in schools suppressing impactful student act. How will you go about working with students and the community once you're so how to stand up an ally for students from the youngest kindergartner to the oldest 8th grader and push them to always challenge?
The question was kind of choppy, but what I think I caught from that was the spirit of allyship. And how are we allies? How can I, as a school board member, advocate or hold our district accountable for what is being shared from our students? Did I catch that right or no? Okay. Well, first of all, I think that capturing the voice of the students is essential in all areas. And I want to be And I want to be able to deepen that engagement between our students and our school board, to really be able to capture their perspective, their experience, like I said, whether it's around needs that they may have or opportunities to deepen their learning engagement. I feel like that voice can be amplified as we are setting our annual goals, setting our budget allocations, to make sure that we are collectively solving for some of these challenges and opportunities, bringing forward the parents, the families, the teachers, the community across the board to really understand what are our students telling us, right? And how can we help to meet the needs of those students, or all of our students essentially. And another thing that comes to mind is how savvy our young folks are with technology, for example. Oftentimes they're teaching me and other adults how to leverage and use devices. And so, having an open mind when they're sharing their feedback with us, that perhaps the way that we've been teaching, whether it was from what we've done 20 years ago or even 5 years ago that aren't working, to have an open mind to say, maybe it's not working and let's try something different. But definitely collecting and leveraging the voice of the students is very, very important.
For sure. Yeah. Our apologies with the internet and the glitching with the question. But no, we think you answered that completely. So yeah, thank you for
Okay.
that. So yeah,
Am I able to ask, because I'm curious, can you guys offer some opportunities that you think the school board could leverage to connect with students and get that voice?
Yeah, but we're trying to stay nonpartisan. But no,
Okay.
but we are a student-led, we are a youth-led group. And in general, to consider voices, first off, I would recommend in any circumstance that there needs to be an open ear and an open heart to listen, no matter the stance you take. So yeah, speaking directly to anyone, like
Yeah.
this first step is to listen and then actually consider it. So there has to be some form of implementation of whatever you heard. It can't just be listening for listening's sake. So that's what I feel what we can share here.
Yeah, definitely. And I echo those sentiments. And I feel that we need leaders that are not going to just check the box, but are going to challenge the status quo. Because ultimately, we want to create that safe environment that is improving the learning of our students, deepening the engagement across the board. And so, yeah, we need to make sure that we have all stakeholder voices.
Yeah,
Hold ourselves accountable.
of course.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for all that. So yeah, that concludes this interview. We're trying to keep these quick and short so that it's easily consumable for voters and particularly youth who we hope turn out this election in rapid numbers. But yeah, again, thank you so much, Ms. Williams-Rogers, for participating in this event and sharing your views. It was truly enlightening and affirming to have an ally out there. We wish you the absolute best in this election and thank everyone who viewed this interview today. We hope you all have a great rest of your day. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Damanpreet. Thank you.